Child, take a slow breath in, because something powerful has already started around you. While you live your life, while you post, while you speak your truth on camera, someone you cannot see right now has been watching very closely. Not a stranger, not a random follower, your person's close friend. They clicked on your clip, maybe out of boredom, maybe out of doubt, maybe just to see what the big deal about you was. They expected to judge you, to measure you, to confirm their old opinion. Instead, heaven used that moment as a trumpet blast. Their heart was called into a higher court, a spiritual judgment, not against you, but against the story they had built about you. They came to your video with gossip in their mind, images of your past, half-truths, pieces of conversations that never showed the whole of you. But as your face appeared on the screen, as your voice carried through their headphones, something underneath the sound moved. Your soul stepped forward, your true self, the one you sometimes doubt others can feel. Child, they did not just see your hairstyle, your clothes, your background. They saw the weight behind your words, the tired courage in your eyes, the scars you never named, the faith you were still holding. And in that moment, their old view of you cracked. They realized they had never really looked at you at all. What they had seen was a collage made from old stories, from other people's opinions, from misunderstandings that were never cleared. Watching your clip was like hearing a bell ring in a quiet church. Sudden, sharp, impossible to ignore. Their spirit woke up, and for the first time, they asked themselves, what if I was wrong about them? They replayed parts of the video, not because you looked cute, not because the edit was perfect, but because their heart kept tugging. They noticed how your voice shook slightly on one sentence, how your eyes went distant on one word, how you paused before sharing something deep. They felt your humanity, not the label they placed on you. They saw your growth, not your old mistakes. They saw your strength, not your past breakdowns. They saw purpose, not drama. Child, your clip became an X-ray. It showed the bones of your journey, the structure under your life. They realized you have walked through storms you never posted. You healed from wounds you never announced. You rebuilt parts of yourself in silence. And now, that friend knows. You are not just someone their friend is involved with. You are a soul on assignment. You are part of a bigger plan in your person's life. And yes, in theirs too. Heaven is using you as a mirror to wake people up. Right now, while you listen to this, there is a friend of your person, trying to make sense of why they suddenly respect you. They feel strange, because it clashes with the image they held of you before. Where there used to be doubt, there is now curiosity. Where there used to be suspicion, there is now quiet admiration. They see you standing at a turning point in your life, not as a victim of the past, but as someone answering a spiritual call. They watched you speak and realized you carry a sense of mission when you talk. Even if you were just telling a story, the way you chose your words, the way you owned your truth, told them, this is someone who has risen from something heavy. Child, this is a judgment in your favor. The scales are being rebalanced. In the unseen, over your reputation, over your name, old karmic stories about you are ending. You do not need to defend yourself. Heaven is exposing the truth for you. Type 111 in the comments if you can feel that a spiritual case about your life is finally being closed. Now listen, because that clip did more than reveal your pain. It revealed your path. As they watched, they realized you are not just surviving life. You are walking an unusual road, a spiritual adventure. You are not someone just clocking in and out of days. You are someone walking with a compass inside your chest. You have said no to things that looked normal, because your spirit did not feel peace. You have said yes to things that scared you, because something higher pushed you forward. They could see it in the way you talked about your past. You did not sound bitter. You sounded guided. You spoke about closed doors, like someone who now understands why they had to shut, You spoke about loss, like someone who has seen it become fuel. That friend realized, you are not wandering, you are being led. Your life is not random. There is a map on your heart, written in light, and they felt it. Suddenly, they saw you as the deep one, the one who reads the signs, who listens to dreams, who notices repeating numbers on the clock. They might even roll their eyes at that, on the surface, but their soul knows. You are tapped into something they have not fully explored. Your clip planted a seed of hunger in them. A quiet question. What if life is more spiritual than I thought? Child, whether they admit it or not, they now see you as a guide, an unspoken teacher, someone who walks a path they secretly wish they had the courage to walk. You have walked through nights of questioning, and kept going. You have cried, and still chosen faith. That is what they saw. Even if they cannot put it into words, type Amen. If you know your journey has never been normal, but sacred, strange, and guided, the angels now show me another layer. This friend didn't just see your fire. They saw your calm. They expected you to be dramatic, too much, too intense, or maybe too cold, too distant. But in your video, they saw something else. A calm in your eyes, steady tone. Even when you shared painful things, they realized you are not chasing chaos. You are protecting your peace. You are not addicted to arguments. You are addicted to balance. The way you explained your boundaries, the way you described how you left certain situations, showed them you do not react from impulse anymore. You breathe. You observe. You choose. You carry both gentleness and firmness in one body, and that confused them, because people had likely described you as too emotional or too hard, but there you were, blending softness and strength. In one simple sentence, they saw that you can say no without screaming, that you can say yes without losing yourself. They saw that you own your emotions. Your emotions do not own you, child. This changed everything for them. They realized you bring balance to your person's life. You are not here to create drama. You are here to create healing. Where your person leans too far into fear, you pull them back into faith. Where they lean too far into overthinking, you pull them back into feeling. You calm storms, not start them. That friend now knows your presence in your person's life is stabilizing, not destabilizing. They might have thought the opposite before, because of rumors or old crazy chapters, but your clip showed your current self, not your old self. And your current self is someone who would rather walk away than stay in a situation that kills peace. They have seen your emotional maturity, your self-control, your patience. They may never tell you this out loud, but inside, they are relieved that someone like you is next to their friend. Type 222. If you know you are the calm in someone's storm, even when people misread you. Now, the angels turned the light deeper. As they watched you, that friend saw something burning under your skin. Not anger, not attitude, light. You glowed different. Even if the video quality was low, even if the lighting was off, there was something radiant about you. They felt it. A warmth, a creative spark, an aliveness. For the first time, they saw your divine self. Not your role, not girlfriend, not ex, not crush, not problem. They saw the soul. They noticed how your laughter had layers. Your smile hid secrets of survival. Your silence between sentences felt full, not empty. They saw color around you, energy, vibration. They realized you are not just a body talking. You are a spirit transmitting. Your creativity, the way you told your story, the way you used examples, the way you gave hope without being fake. All of that showed them you carry a divine spark that cannot be copied. And they were surprised by how confident you were in your own skin. You were not trying to be a copy of anyone. You were not trying to fit a trend. You were simply you, unpolished, real, glowing anyway. And that shook something in them. because they have seen people perform online. But they saw you be. They felt the difference. Now, they see you as someone who lives in truth, who honors their own weirdness, who doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. They see that your light is not pride, it is purpose. Child, heaven is asking you to keep shining that way, because your authenticity is a key, opening doors in hearts you will never meet in person. Your person's friend now looks at you and silently admits they are actually powerful. You have become a mirror, showing them where they hide their own light. Type yes, angels, in the comments if you choose to stay fully yourself. No matter who misunderstands, the angels now show me how this friend sees your practical side too. Before, they may have thought you were all feelings and dreams, no structure, no plan, but your clip revealed another truth. They noticed how you talk about your work, your responsibilities, your plans, your finances, your healing routines. They heard the grounded way you speak about what you are building. They realized you are not just a spiritual talker, you are a quiet builder. You show up, you keep promises, you handle your own life. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you are not careless. You know how to hold things together, even when you are breaking inside. They now see you as reliable, as someone who can be trusted, someone who doesn't just say, I care, but proves it. They can feel that you protect your person in your own way. Maybe you support them emotionally. Maybe you help them think straight. Maybe you motivate them to grow. However it looks, they now see you are not a distraction. You are a stabilizer. Your presence does not shake your person's foundation. It strengthens it. That realization hit them hard, because it means you are not easy to replace. You are not just another. You are a safe place. In progress, they see the way you give, how you share your energy, your time, your ideas. Even when you are tired, you still pour into others. And they know that is not normal. That is special. Child, heaven is saying, your generosity is seen. Your loyalty is seen, even by those who once doubted you the most. Type 333 if you know you give more than people realize, and you are ready for God to send people who can finally see it. Now, the angels turn to your joy. This friend saw something in your clip they did not expect at all. They saw your playfulness. They thought your healing journey had made you serious all the time, or that your strength meant you were cold. But in the video, they saw how your eyes light up when you talk about small things, how you smile mid-sentence, how you still joke about your own past without bitterness. They felt the way you create a sense of togetherness. Even through a screen you speak like you are inviting them to sit at your table, to laugh with you, to cry with you, to toast to small wins. They saw you are not only deep, you are also light. You know how to celebrate tiny miracles. A message at the right time, a bill somehow paid, a sign showing up, a random hug. You honor the simple joys, and that energy makes people feel safe around you. The friend realized you are good company, not just for your person, but for their whole circle. You are the type of person who can make shy people feel included, who can sit with the quiet ones and bring them out gently. You notice who is left out and draw them in. You know how to turn shared pain into shared healing, not shared drama. This scared them a little, because it means if they ever truly let you into their life, you might change more than they are ready to change. But it also warmed them, because they now know why their friend cares so much about you. You bring joy, you bring connection, you bring life. Type 444 if you know you are the glue in many groups, even when you feel like the outsider. Child, the angels now show a harder truth. Your clip became a mirror, not only of your light, but of the illusions around your name. As they watched, this friend had to admit they had been unfair with you. They believed stories that never came from your mouth. They connected dots that were never part of the same picture. They judged you from a distance. But in your clip, they saw your sincerity, the tremble in your voice, when you spoke about what hurt you, how careful you were not to blame others. Even those who wounded you, they could feel. You were not performing innocence. You were holding truth. They felt your integrity. The way you refused to talk bad about people, even when you could. The way you took responsibility for your own choices, instead of playing victim. That was the reality check. They saw that their version of you was lazy, convenient, shallow, and it broke down. In that moment, they felt small, because they saw that you have been walking with courage, while they sat on the sidelines, commenting, "Child, you did not have to clap back. The truth spoke for you, your character, your growth, your softness without weakness. All of that exposed the lie. The angels are clearing your name. In rooms you have never entered. This friend will never look at you through the same dirty lens again. They may still be cautious. They may still be protective of their friend. That is natural. But one thing has changed. They now know you are honest. Even when you are messy. Even when you are angry. Even when you are confused. You are real. Type 55. If you choose truth over image. Even when it costs you connections. There is more. As they watched your clip, they glimpsed the endings you walked through. They saw the tiredness in your eyes. When you spoke about seasons, where everything seemed to break at once, they realized you have been stabbed in the back more times than you ever post about. You have been betrayed, misread, left alone, blamed for things that were not your fault. Yet in your voice, there was no poison, only wisdom. You talked about painful chapters as lessons, not as weapons. You didn't beg to be seen as a saint. You admitted your own mistakes. You showed that you let certain stories die. Even when it hurt, you stopped trying to fix what refused to heal. You stopped staying where your spirit was not safe. They saw that you know how to bury old versions of yourself. You are not holding on to older identities just to make people comfortable. You let them go. You grieved them. You outgrew them. This scared the friend, because it showed them you are stronger than they thought. You are not someone who will stay where they are not respected. You can walk away, even when it costs you everything familiar, and that made them respect you deeply. Your resilience, your ability to get up after emotional death, after social death, after financial death, that is what they saw. They realized you are the kind of soul who cannot be destroyed, only reshaped. Child, heaven is saying, you are entering the sunrise. After a very long night, your willingness to release, to forgive, to move on, is calling in new cycles, new connections, new respect. Type amen. If you refuse to go back to any version of yourself that had to beg for love, the angels also show that this friend saw your strength. In conflict and boundaries, they saw that you are no longer willing to bleed for people who enjoy the sight. You no longer fight every battle. You only fight the ones that protect your peace. In the clip, they could tell you have learned to pick your battles. You do not argue with everyone. You do not explain yourself to everyone. You have become okay with being misunderstood. You know when to speak and when to be silent. You know when to stay and when to walk away mid-sentence. To save your soul, the friend realized you are not weak. You are wise. You do not avoid conflict. You outgrow it. You do not stay to win. You leave to heal. They saw the quiet steel in you, the way your eyes get firm when you talk about what you will no longer accept. They understood that you can forgive without returning. You can release without reopening the door. Child, this is new for them, because before, they may have thought you were desperate, or clingy, or always chasing proof. Now they see you are actually protective of your space. You decide who gets access. You decide who sits near your heart. You are not cruel. You are careful. Type 11. If you have learned to love people without letting everyone live inside your mind, the angels also show that this friend saw something beautiful in your relationship with your desires. When you spoke about your dreams, you did not sound delusional. You sounded determined. They realized you are not just wishing. You are working. You have late nights, early mornings, invisible sacrifices. You pray. You plan. You adjust. Your goals are not just mood boards. They are blueprints. This friend suddenly saw how close you actually are to many of the things you have talked about. They sensed that doors are about to open for you. Heaven is aligning details, people, resources. You are closer than you think. Your consistency, even when nobody claps. Your hope, even when nothing moves. All of that is pulling your desires into form. The friend felt it. Even if they don't have the language, they sensed. If they keep going like this, something big is going to happen for them. They might even feel a strange mix of fear and pride. Fear, because they know your rise will expose who was real. Pride, because somewhere in their heart, they know you deserve it. Child, heaven is saying, do not shrink your goals to make others comfortable. Your dreams are not random. They are instructions. Type 777. If you still believe that something good is on its way to you, even after years of delay. Now, the angels show me your inner conflict. This friend finally realized how heavy your decision-making has been. They saw that behind your calm face, you often stand between two paths. You have nights where your mind and your heart argue. You hold back messages you could send because you are unsure if it is ego or intuition. You delay choices because you refuse to move without inner peace. This friend may have thought you were indecisive or playing games, but after watching your clip, they understood. You are careful because you know your value. You do not just accept any offer, any apology, any plan. You check it against your spirit. They saw that you wrestle with options, not because you are weak, but because you know one yes can change your whole life, and you do not want to betray yourself just to keep people comfortable. This realization made them softer towards you. They now know you carry more weight inside than you ever show on the outside. Child, heaven wants you to know your slowness in certain areas is not failure. It is protection. You are being guided, not to rush choices that would drain your future. Trust the pause. Type 888. If you are done forcing decisions and you want heaven to lead you clearly. Finally, the angels reveal what moved this friend the most. They did not just see your logic. They felt the magic around you. Little divine glitches. How certain words you said matched thoughts they had earlier that day. How a song you mentioned was the same song they had on repeat. How the timing of your post lined up with something their friend had prayed about. They felt that you are surrounded by signs, by feathers of grace, by repeating numbers, by dreams that later come true. Even if they would never admit it aloud, their spirit whispered, they are chosen. They saw that your life has been edited by hands you cannot see, the near accidents you escaped, the relationships that ended right before disaster, the messages that reached you in the exact second you wanted to give up. All of this sat behind your eyes as you spoke, and their soul knew, this is not luck. This is protection. Child, you walk with angelic backing. That friend sensed it. Your person has always felt it. And deep down, you know it too. You have survived things you were not supposed to walk away from. You have healed from heartbreaks that should have made you cold. You have found reasons to live when everything around you told you to stop trying. This is divine magic, not tricks, not illusions, real intervention. Type Amen if you know something higher has pulled you out of pits you did not have the strength to climb out of alone. Child, listen carefully now. This whole revelation, their shift in viewpoint, their new respect, their softened heart, it is not an accident. Heaven is rearranging the people around you so that your purpose can move forward. Those who must stay will see you more clearly. Those who must go will show their true colors. You do not need to beg for recognition. The truth is stepping into the light, card by card, layer by layer. Your clip was not just content. It was a spiritual announcement. I am not who I used to be, and heaven backed it up. So now, your person's close friend knows this. You are not a threat. You are a turning point. You are not a mistake. You are a message. You are not a phase. You are a destiny chapter. Whether they accept it or not is their test, not yours. You just keep walking. Keep choosing peace over impulse, truth over image, growth over comfort. Keep honoring your spiritual path, even when it looks strange. To those still sleeping, the angels stand beside you, as defenders of your name, as witnesses of your tears, as protectors of your journey. Child, you are not alone. You have never been alone. Type 999 if you receive this, if you are ready to step into a new season, where you no longer chase approval. Instead, you stand in your light and let heaven reveal who was meant to walk beside you. Breathe. Place your hand over your heart. Say softly, I allow the truth about me to be seen by those who need to see it. I forgive old judgments. I release old stories. I step forward as my true self, protected, guided, and loved. And so it is. You are free. You are seen. You are held.